Hello you guys, welcome to my YouTube channel again. So today I want to show you how to make Basi. First of all, what you need is couscous, you need sugar, condensed milk, sour cream, cottage cheese, Philadelphia cheese, and of course buttermilk. Okay, and then you want to get a pot, put some water in it, and bring it to boil. Okay, once it starts to boil, turn the flame down some and pour your couscous into that water. You don't want it to be soggy, you just want it to steam out. It's been a while since I've been here to show you guys how to make something, so let's see how this. So at this point, this is the first round of it, and obviously it looks like it needs more water. The thing that you want to know about couscous is that it swells up, okay, with the amount of water you put in it. It's very sensitive. I want to say that it has the same consistency as grits. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, so as you can see here, I am sprinkling water on it so I can get the consistency that I need for the Basi. Okay, so I covered it back up. I put the flame, I think, down some again so it can steam out, but so there you go. I turned it off at this point. I think it's ready. This is the consistency that I need. And yeah, so this is a close-up of what I'm looking for, what I need. Pretty good, huh? You guys will be fine. All right, so at this point, since I've gotten the consistency that I need, I am going to transfer my couscous into this foil tray, and this is so that it can cool down and have that room temperature that I need. So when you're making the Basi, you want the couscous to be completely cooled off, and since it's something that I'm going to prepare the next day in the morning, I'm going to place it on here and just leave it out overnight, and so it's ready for me in the morning to make the mix. All right, so as you can see here, I am just going to pour all of that out of the pot and place it on the tray here. At some point I got tired of just scooping it out, and I just poured the entire thing over on the tray. But you want to definitely spread this out on the tray as such as I'm doing. And like every 2-3 hours you want to mix it again, okay, just to make sure that all of it is airing out, and you get no sticky balls of the couscous on that tray. Okay, this is another thing about couscous is if it's not kept appropriately, it gets slimy, and at that point it's no longer good for you to use. So keep that in mind when you are working with couscous. It's very sensitive. Make sure your hands are clean. As you can see, I wore gloves just to prevent any of that happening. Again, this is where I just got frustrated and said, you know what the heck, I need to just turn this thing over. You don't want any of the bottom part of that couscous, because you don't need that for the Basi, okay? You can probably put some butter in there, put some Maggi, and have a little snack, or just put some butter and eat that up, okay? So as you can see here, I am trying to get rid of any balls that it has. Just spreading it out, let it have some air, keep it out, don't put it in the refrigerator. Now if you have a garage, and in the winter time you can even put it in a garage for it to cool down. Do not cover it, okay guys? Do not cover it, okay? All right guys, so it's literally the next day, and I checked on it. Everything looks good. Right here, I am just trying to ensure I have as less balls on here as possible. And you can use my technique, or you can use this other technique right here that I tried, just to create less balls from the couscous itself. Okay. Push this aside, and we are going to start on our mix. All right. And so now we're going to start our wet mixture. Okay. So at this point, we want to put in this pot. We want to put in the condensed milk. We want to put in sugar and the Philadelphia cream cheese. You want to use something that has depth in it. To be honest, that's the deepest item that I have in my kitchen. That's firm enough for this fixture, or rather mixture, excuse me. So I'm gonna mix all the wet ingredients in this pot, and then we're going to pour it over on the couscous on the tray. This is the best that I could do with what I had in my house. Okay. So I am pouring the condensed milk. I'm not going to show you guys the video where I used the spoon to get all the nicks and crannies of it. Every piece or bit of it counts. So we put in the cream cheese, and at this point, this is where I like to add my sugar, because it helps to get the cream cheese and condensed milk as smooth as possible. You want it as smooth as a vanilla milkshake. That's how smooth this thing needs to be, okay? The sugar, honestly, is up to your taste. So whatever is sweet for you, whatever your sweet tooth tells you is, the amount of sugar you would use. As you can see, I used a flat wooden spoon again to get these mixture the way I would want it to be, or the way it should be, for the creamy shake consistency. So there you go. Mix, 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 mix. This is my favorite creamy mixture. Like, I would lick this forever, and then I'll just spend the rest of my life in the toilet. All right, so we are going to add the sour cream at this point. If you notice, some people may do this differently, but at this point, I add my sour cream. I don't put in my cottage cheese until towards the very end, because I like the lumps that's in the cottage cheese, and that's why it's cottage cheese. But yeah, so I only used one really large gulp of the sour cream, and I think I got this from Sam's Club. So they have the bigger sizes there. So I only used one. And we're just gonna add this in here, which we did already, and just mix away. And as you can see, mix, mix, mix. There's a lot of mixing, you guys. Pray you don't do this all the time, because you will end up with arthritis or something. But yeah, mix, mix, mix. And you want everything mixed up. Everything in there just blended into one. Okay. And this is why I use something that's firm and strong, because if I were to use like a Tupperware thing, it would just be moving around too much. And it won't do the job for us. All right, and there you go. I'm showing you all the consistency. If you have any lumps in there, you just want to smooth those out as well. Okay, and mix, mix, mix. All right, let's see. So next we're going to add the buttermilk, and I used the entire gallon, the half gallon in this mix. Another thing that you want to know about Basi is that it holds and it becomes really thick. Okay, and to loosen it up is to add more buttermilk. So the thicker it gets, the more buttermilk you add. Okay. So I use the entire gallon, and then if I need any more later, then I would just pour more into my mix. All right. So let's go ahead and mix that. If you follow every step on this video that I did, I promise you, when you make it, it's going to be absolutely divine and delicious. So after mixing everything or all the wet ingredients, I pour it directly into the couscous, okay? And the reason why I did this is because my container isn't big enough for me to put the couscous in the container. It's just it won't be large enough. So I use this technique instead. You don't have to use this technique if you have a bigger container where you did your large mixture. You can pour the couscous inside of that, okay? And notice again, I have not added the cottage cheese at all. And that's gonna be like at the very end because I don't want it to mush out. You like to keep the lumps of it. You want to keep the lumps on it. Okay, so mix. There's a lot of mixing again. At this point, you can also taste it. You can decide if you want to add more buttermilk. It's really up to you. Again, the sweetness of this is all up to you. Nothing is really measured, but you want it as creamy and as rich as possible. And for that to happen, you have to use the best quality ingredients, okay? And I added more sugar because you guys know that I have a very sweet tooth. It's not for me, however, this is for a friend I'm making it for. So hopefully they enjoy it. I'll let you guys know, okay, when what the verdict is when I deliver this dish to them. So again, more mixing, mix away. All right, and so now at this point we are going to add the rest of the mix in here because I feel like it's still too thick. I mean, yeah, it's still too thick, so we are adding the rest of the mixture in here that was in the container that I had. Okay, there you go. You can see I am adding all of it in there. You can hear my TV in the background. All right, and then we are going to mix some more because this is what we do, is mix. Yeah, so there you go. So I added more sugar and I added the rest of the batter that I mixed into this tray here. Sorry guys. All right, so after this, now I like to add my cottage cheese, okay, because I've done a lot of mixing. I'm not gonna do that much again after I put in the cottage cheese. And the reason why, again, I mentioned this earlier, I put the cottage cheese last is because I like to keep the lumps in there, okay? You want the lumps. If it's at any point when you're making this, it's too sweet, you can add a bit of lemon, okay, to give it a less sweetened taste. That is what I've noticed that have worked in the past. So I hope that helps. You guys can try it too. I'm just adding a tad bit of lemon to it. Okay, trying to get all of that in there. To be honest, the more cottage cheese you have, the better this thing is. And I only got 2 for this mix, but if I had more, I would have added more cottage cheese to it. It just adds on to the richness and the creaminess of the basi. This is a really, really good dish for like Ramadan, burial services, baby naming ceremonies. What else? I wouldn't take this to a baby shower or a bridal shower. Okay. I would make this for any occasion. You would make pop. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment on the comment on the section below. Let me know if you made it and how it tasted. What was the turnout? Of course, share my YouTube channel with your friends and your families. Share. If you guys really enjoy this, I will create more content, more food content, and post this for you guys. So don't forget to share. Okay. So after mixing this, I mentioned earlier that I am not going to mix this a lot. So as you can see, I was even going kind of slow too. So I'm not going to keep it in this foil tray. I am going to dish it out in a prettier dish to take to my friend's house. So here you go. I'm trying to show y'all consistency, and I'm praying my phone doesn't fall into this mix, you guys, but I had to give you all a close-up. All right, I hope you enjoyed that moment. Yeah, so I'm just gonna now pour everything into the dish. This is my pretty dish my mom gave me. So I'm just gonna pour everything in there. Whatever's left over, I would use those containers like the sour cream or cream cheese and cottage container, and put those in there and just give some to my friend. Boyfriend really loves this thing too, so he gets some. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed it. This is the finished touch. I'm gonna cover this up and off I go. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you haven't, and share my YouTube. Okay.